Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Open Mic. Today is episode actually number 11,
Oh,
and the last one of the season, which is 1 1. It's a great number if you're in numerology. I think we should talk about numerology at one point in time during this session tonight. And it's been a great run, actually, for the past a couple of months starting this. And we have touched upon a lot of topics, all the way from love to ego to all kinds, mediumship, spirits, and so on. And now we come to an end of the season, and today we thought we'll wrap it up with kind of a combination or melange of the topics that we touched on, and we will expand on questions. If you do have questions, please send them through the chats. We're here and we welcome you. To start with a little bit of infomercial at the beginning, I will pass it on to Tanis.
okay. So,
Sorry, before Rachel, introduce yourself. I do apologize.
so this is Ramsey.
I forgot about the introduction.
You want to do your intro?
I'm Ramsey, and I'm your host. And I do apologize because I forgot about that. I was like way too excited. And I'm a medium, a coach, and an energy healer. And my co-host Tanis Coughlin. Go ahead, it's yours.
So I'm Tanis Coughlin, and I am founder of Twillo Lifestyle Community, Twillo Lifestyle Academy. I am an intuitive energy healer. I am an oracle. I am, what else am I? Galactic ambassador and a Celtic shamanic high priestess. So it's a bit of a mouthful, but anyways, so we play with all things spirit here, and yeah, all the good stuff, all the light. It's all love and light, and welcome. We're really excited that you're here with us tonight.
Welcome. And we do have, although we did mention it last week, but we're going to still mention it again today. So I'll leave it to you, the June 12th date. And I'm sure it has been penciled 500 times in your diaries. I know that. So just in case there's one of those, calendars that is still empty somewhere, either on your phone, on your tablet, or please make sure you reserve the date, and I'll leave it to go ahead with it.
So we're having this awesome event. It's Twillo's fusion of holistic practices, and basically all of the teachers. So you've got a specially curated group all getting together with their own specialties to bring a whole lot of knowledge, a whole lot of fun, and talk about all sorts of topics. So we have topics. It'll be in the first part of the day is going to be a discussion on spirituality with all of us. So there'll be 8 of us. And then we're going to break out into a finance and career one. And Ramsey and I will both be in that one, along with Jacqueline Richards and Michelle Marie. And then we will do health at 3:00. And that will be Gary Chatham and Ruth Heyerdahl, Jacqueline Richards, and Karen Stillman. Then at 4:00, we'll have emotional well-being, and that will be Gary Chatham, Jennifer Tchaikovsky, Ramsey Cheedy, and myself. And then we will go at 5. We're doing relationships, so that'll be Jennifer Tchaikovsky, Michelle Marie, Ramsey Cheedy, and myself. And did I say that one already? Did I say it twice? No. Okay. Oh. Then we do a little conclusion. Sorry, time warp. So I'll be emceeing most of it, and it's going to be like from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. on that day. So stay tuned for more info. You can come and go. Of course, it's going to be live on Facebook. Each of us will have our Facebook things, I would think. Hopefully we'll get some on YouTube. We have limited, of course, there's 8 of us, so we have to share the channels that are going out. But it should be an awesome day.
Mm-hmm. It should be. And I'm actually looking forward to it. And the preparation behind the scene is enormous. And actually, it is exciting. It is exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
So much knowledge in one stream. I was going to say one room, but we're not we're in like a sort of a technical room.
We are in one energy bubble.
We are in a bubble, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are in one energy bubble what do you call it, circulating energy like you wouldn't believe.
Yep.
And that's where the wisdom roams around, and you can all benefit from it.
And it's pretty cool, I have to tell you, the energy when we have our meetings, because we have teacher meetings once a month, and pretty amazing energy when all of these folks are in one space,
Yeah.
sacred space. It's beautiful. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. So these are all the teachers that will be teaching for the next year, I'm hoping, or more, hopefully more. And yeah, everything from yoga to mediumship and psychic abilities to Reiki, energy healing, crystals. We'll have essential oils, tarot, Vedic astrology, all sorts of topics coming.
Money.
Yep,
Sure.
that's right. Yoga. I said yoga, I think, but yes.
Yeah, I missed
I
it.
don't know. There's so much.
Yeah.
to play with, and metaphysical stuff, because I do a lot of like candle magic and talismans and all that kind of stuff too. So lots coming up in the new year. So this is our like launch for the school that we're planning, and so yeah, we'll be really excited if you would all join us. It would be awesome. You get to ask questions in those areas.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
open. It's free. It's open to the public.
Mhm.
You don't need to register anywhere. You need to. You need to put. How does it work? I don't know how it works. Oh
It's
my
going to
God.
be. We'll have it posted for on the sites. Yeah, so Michelle will set it up and join up our Facebook pages, and then it'll stream, much like what we're doing tonight.
Okay. So there'll be a link on all our websites, and not websites, but well, yeah,
Facebook.
and websites, but it's going to be on Facebook also and other social media, so you'll be able to see it and link in.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's free, 5 hours, amazing info that's going to be flowing, amazing people, great teachers, and awesome colleagues.
Mm-hmm. And
So
we're so
yeah.
blessed. We're really blessed. I just love my team. It's great.
And also you can go to twillowlifestyle.ca and check out all the classes that are offered by these teachers and others. It is online. You can pick and choose whichever you'd like to work with. It is interesting. There's more coming up. Maybe not everybody had put up all their courses up yet, but
no, we're still working on that, actually.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to it, because there's going to be lots more coming up.
So keep on checking every now and then. It's interesting just to see what's happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Keep yourself informed, and of course you'll see them on social media. We're going to be advertising for everybody, so it's not going to be on my social media will be only for me. It's going to be for everyone, actually, because that's
we are stronger together.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the motto. We're stronger together. We all have our own practices, by the way, so we just come together to put all these beautiful teachings together for you in one place. So yeah, it's awesome. So
let's wrap up the infomercial with one more infomercial, a small little one.
Yes.
September will be the launch of season 2 of Open Mic.
Mm-hmm.
Just I'll give you a teaser a bit of what is gonna come up during the September during season 2. I should stop saying September, and I should stop saying next year, because actually it's not yet next year, it's season 2. Mm-hmm. So what's gonna happen, and it's still in the works and still in the air, but we do have a list of people that we're gonna be interviewing. I already we have our colleague Carol Chantal. She'll be joining in September. You can find her on Facebook also. And I do have 2 people that just confirmed, that one of them today, that they'll be more than happy to join in from Mexico. So I have 2 teachers from Mexico that'll be joining in.
Beautiful.
And more teachers that will be coming, and they don't have to be teachers, but more enlightened being, they're going to come in from Ireland. Oh, and I got one confirmed. What do you call it? What is that called? I forgot about it. That sound.
Sound healing? Crystal bowl healing?
Nah, it's
No?
language, light language.
Oh,
Sorry.
light language. Yes.
Yeah, my apologies. Why did I block on this one? Anyway, so a light language person is coming from the US.
Beautiful.
There's somebody from Ireland that is going to be joining. I know there are two more people I'm still talking to in the US that'll be joining us. So I'm trying to get all the way from east to west and get different modalities, different ideas, so that we can bring to the viewers an array of modalities, an array of healing, and other things that are present in the world at this point in time. So just a teaser. This is it.
Woohoo.
And now we'll start with our show.
Beautiful. So what shall we talk about?
What should we talk about? We talked about everything.
Do you want to talk about the number 11?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Because it means something to me personally, actually.
Let's go with that.
So 11 has been a lucky number for me. I met my husband on an 11. We got engaged on an 11. We got married on the 11th. We had our engagement party on an 11th, and it was all by accident. None of it was planned. My son was 11 days late. No, he wasn't born on the 11th, but he was 11 days late.
Close.
So, yeah. So numbers are the number 11 has been huge. I remember we went on a trip, one of our few family trips that we went to Florida one year. It was my son and my husband and I, and everywhere we went, there was an 11. We arrive at our hotel. We're in building 11, and our room was 1111.
Interesting. So let's give them, what is the meaning of 11? I know number 1 is God unity, and 11 is a power number, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
They're like 11, 22, and so on. The double-digit numbers are the same. They're power numbers. But what does it actually resemble? What does it mean?
I think there's lots of theories on that. Often, for me, it's that you're starting your journey. You're starting your spiritual journey if you start to see 11s and 22s and all of that stuff. Often the guides are with you if you're seeing a lot of those. I'm not sure what the full meaning of it is in terms of, well, we could look it up. Shall I look it up? I have a handy book that I can look it up in. I don't know if you guys have seen this book, Angel Numbers, Doreen Virtue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
101. So let's just see, shall we? What does she say 1111 is? Because there are many views. So that she says the angels are saying, stay positive. Your thoughts are materializing rapidly or manifesting rapidly. So you want to ensure positive outcomes by focusing only on the good within yourself, others, and this situation. So that's what she has to say. But I think there's many others too. So
yeah, this is only from an angel perspective. There are other in numerology. It means something else. I don't have
it
it.
does.
And I know it's a power number. It's a new beginning. It's you're on the right path, and so on and so forth. And I believe we are on the right path. This is episode 11, which is perfect ending of season 1. It's 111, so we're right on track.
And we have guides with us.
Yeah.
There's lots of guides here tonight. I can feel them here. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So we're talking about guides, and we have mentioned guides in the past, and I just want to give an interpretation of what a guide means. Because somebody asked, "What do you mean by a guide?"
Mm-hmm.
So, an easy interpretation, or if you're from the Catholic religion, is what is called your angel guides. Angel guides are your guardian angels that protects you, or they're sent to be around you. So from a religious perspective, these are the angels that protect you. From a spiritual perspective, we don't actually give them names. It's just a guide. As a spirit well, like Ramdas used to say, disembodied spirit that is sitting out there waiting to help out.
Yeah.
It's an odd way of putting it. It works.
Yep. That's more or
So,
less.
from your perspective, Tanis, and I know you might have a different interpretation of the word guide.
Yeah, well, I think that it is benevolent beings out there waiting to help us. I think they come in all shapes and forms, and some no form. It's they're energetic beings, so they are in different dimensional frequencies than we are. And so for myself, like, there's a bunch of different dimensions, right? We've got at least 12 physical dimensions, and another 7 spiritual dimensions. And so, each one of those has their own kind of set of beings that kind of reside at those frequencies. And so when we start to tune into the different frequencies, that's when we start to meet these different types of beings that are benevolent guides, or they help to give us information. So the thing about guides is they have no ability to do anything physical here, right? So they can't like pick up this book and move it kind of thing, but they have perfect knowledge. Whereas we can pick up this book and move it, but we sure don't have perfect knowledge. No. So that's the benefit of tuning into them and developing a relationship with your guides, is to tap into some of that perfect knowledge. Now they do, they will hold back on some knowledge if it's not something that's going to serve you well right now. So it's not like we can expect to hear everything about everything, and there's stuff that we're not privy to, right, if it involves somebody else, and there's all sorts of stuff around that. But for the most part, they have perfect knowledge, and it's a wonderful way to sort of allow them to guide your life. I always joke that I do what I'm told these days. They're like, start a podcast. Okay. Start a school. Okay. Wait, how?
This is how all of this started, is like, come on. And their messages don't come in a text message or on a Facebook Messenger. It comes through an intuition, a spark of an enlightened word that just crosses your mind and just disappears instantly, and you go, what just happened? Why do I have this word start? And you don't realize what you're doing, and then later on it might you might understand what the message is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important, because at the beginning I was expecting somebody to come take a paragraph and read it for me, and I say, okay, and don't do this, do that.
You wanted the text message, I know. Yeah. Me too, actually, but it never came.
It's just kind of I don't want to say encrypted. It's not encrypted. It comes through intuition and
symbolic, maybe.
Pardon?
Symbolic, maybe, would be
more symbolic too.
Yeah.
And one important thing also is that don't go look for them. If you're looking for a sign, everything is a sign, because your conscious and subconscious, your conscious mind plays the tricks on you, and you go, here it is. There's a billboard that says don't call, and dear, this is my sign. But that's because your mind is looking for it. If you're driving and you're not even thinking about it, and all of a sudden your face turns to see that word, then that could be the sign.
Mm-hmm.
Because our mind is such a creative little thingy that takes over our life and manages it well, so that to protect itself.
Yeah.
So it starts gearing us, while guides don't gear you. They pass on the information, and you have the right to make a choice on it.
That's right. And I think it's good to note that if you are getting those kind of voices that are being very insistent, that's not necessarily something you want to listen to.
Nope.
Right? So your guides you'll never feel forced to do something. You will always have a choice. They might make it uncomfortable to not do what's in your best interest, because they do want what's best for you. But you should never feel like fearful of your guides, because they are benevolent. They love you. They're always going to be there to support you no matter what decision you make. right? They're like the parents that are that unconditional love. And it's beautiful when you feel that with your guides. Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
Given the example, one time I was going somewhere with someone, and I get this sound in my head. It's a trap. It's a trap. And I go, oh, what? Why am I thinking that? And it got angry. It's a trap. And then I realized that yes, it was a trap by a friend who's trying to do a good thing from their perspective, but it's not a good thing for my evolution.
Right.
So when I caught the message, I go, I get it. I'll be careful, but I have to go. And the voice kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And I went on the journey, and I was well protected. And I knew exactly how it's going to end, or how it's going to manifest, not ends. It manifested in exactly a trap way, but I was ready for it. It was such a beautiful thing. It's just like I had the choice to go, although it's not good for my evolution.
Yeah.
But I made the choice, and I was well protected at that time. I believe that was Moon. Hi, Ramsey and Tanis. Hey, Moon.
Hi.
Fun.
How are you?
Welcome to the show. So we're talking about guides, and since we're talking about spirit, other than the one that comes in a bottle, which is almost Friday, and you should let the spirit rise. But but before we go there, I wanted to touch on spirit and mediumship, because this is one topic that has been occupying me for the past 2 years. I've been taking courses and so on, and my evolution with it had progressed a lot. I find the connection to the spirit is the most healing part of all. And with mediumship, what happens is that it allows the flow of information from spirit world into our world over here to heal wounds, old wounds, current or whatever it is. It's there to assist and heal it. For that, I find that it is one of the most beautiful thing I've ever done. And I know the industry is filled with good, bad, and ugly, and that happens everywhere. But if you do find, or you do resonate with someone who is a medium, and you do have unfinished business, let's assume, or some unhealed wounds, it's good to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
It does help. Recently, one of I got someone that asked me to give a reading for some. Well, he's in India, and he needed a reading badly because he wanted to talk to a deceased family member. Of course, I laid out the groundwork, and I said, okay, 1, I don't call spirit. 2, I'm not a fortune teller. My crystal ball is broken. Are you okay with that? And he was very okay with it. And he said, yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. I said, okay, fine. And then we'll see what spirit will come, what messages spirit will give you.
I have a crystal ball, by the way.
Oh, you do?
Maybe I don't use it. I don't use it very much, but I do.
Okay. Dust it.
Just because it's fun, yeah. But I really don't use it very often.
So what happened is his mother came to the picture. I wasn't aware that his mom had passed away. And she passed the messages to him. And that made him feel good about it. Mm-hmm. Because that's the message that he was looking for. And at the end of the reading, which took us almost an hour, his mom passed on a message to him saying, go to a park. There's a water body over there, and there are trees right next to it. Sit under the tree, and I'll meditate, and I'll give you. So I went there. I gave it to him, and I go, "Do you know of this place?" He goes, "Yes, this is the park that I go to every day, and I will go find the tree. Which tree is it?" I said, "Don't ask me. I don't know which tree is it. I see a big tree that's closer to the water. Use your intuition, whichever one it is, and meditate. And I'm sure your mother will give you a gift. Basically, it's a message that she has for him." And it was such a beautiful thing to see how people heal from these things, and it gives them hope. It gives them hope that the deceased is not, what do you call it? It doesn't end after we passed.
No.
And it continues. Which brings me actually to a conversation I had with someone at work this week. And he goes, "Well, what about the spirit and this and that?" I go, "Look at it this way. We were in an office." I go, "How old is this office?" He goes, "I don't know. 20 years ago they built it." I go, "Actually, no. This has been there for hundreds and millions of years. It's been there forever. Maybe 40 years ago, we put 4 walls and made it into an office.
Yeah.
And 40 years from now, there's not going to be walls and it's going to be something else. And that's the spirit. The spirit always here, and it's always around. It just transforms every time we do something. One day it's a little forest, the other day it's an office building, and in the future, I don't know what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our evolution. We go through multiple phases, different outer shell, if you want to call them. And we just flow, grow, and then move on into something else, because you're just moving from one room into another. It doesn't mean it ends, it just continues.
Yeah. And death is a transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I know people get all scared when they hear they get the death card, for instance, right? In tarot. Yeah. It's just a transformation. It's just energy transforming. So that is often what it depicts, actually, the tarot card, is just that there's a transformation in your life. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to die. It just means there's a transformation. That could be a change in how you see things, how you believe something is going to be, or, a change. It's a transformation.
Yeah.
And that's what spirit goes through when things happen.
And one of the things that, what do you call it? Another analogy of it, just to show, is that if you take a glass of water and you drop the glass of water in a pond or the ocean or whatever it is, what happens? The water becomes the body of water.
Mm-hmm.
It's not separate. It just merges. It merges into it.
Into oneness.
The glass disappears, and nature will take care of it after, ashes to ashes. But the spirit just mixes within the rest and becomes the body,
mm-hmm.
well, the body of water in this analogy. So we are part of the collective. We are a drop in the ocean. We are the ocean in a drop.
Mm-hmm. And we are all one.
And we are all one. At the end of it, there's no separation, other than what the mind creates. And of course, we create separation to, maybe I shouldn't go into that, but there are no separation.
We do it because of our ego brain, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
For personal benefit that does not benefit the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to remember, when we treat other people poorly, we're actually treating ourselves poorly, because we are all connected.
Yeah.
So when we create separation, and there's a lot of polarization right now about numerous topics, and we won't get into them, but in general, when you have that polarization, it feels very uncomfortable, really, because we're meant to be one. So this pulling that you can get in those kind of situations is very uncomfortable for everybody. And yet a lot of our society is built on that kind of separation, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where we're built on competition. We're built on, power over, and the more we can have power with, the better.
And once you actually take yourself out of this, because what this does, the separation does, it puts you in a sleepy mode, unawakened person. An awakened person realizes that, becomes part of the whole, and rises above all the other what do you call it, chatter that takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can do a simple thing. Oh, I can't now get it out. Sit in front of your partner, your friend, or anybody, and look at them eye to eye, and say nothing.
Yeah.
You see yourself in there.
You do.
You'll see yourself in there.
And you're going to be uncomfortable if you've never done it before.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It is very hard. But then that separation goes. We want to have our own identity. Don't get me wrong. We don't all want to be a cookie cutter where we're all the same. We like our identity.
Yeah.
Good. And it creates evolution. We evolve further. But we shouldn't be pushing away or putting down and up.
We can be different in doing this.
Yes.
Or we can be different in doing this. And this is what we've all been doing. If we can do this as we move, separate but together, right? That unity consciousness.
So a couple of no, was it not last time? The week before, we talked about the ego. That we wanted to clear the ego's bad reputation around the globe. So we did dive into what the ego does and how it works. And to protect itself, it has to feel better than the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm good at this, so I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so good. Instead of being humble about it, well, not instead of, you can be humble about it and raise the others with you. Mm-hmm. How do companies survive? How do companies grow? Is when everybody gets in cohesively, and the janitor and the president have the same value in the company.
Yeah, they all just have a different role.
They all have a different role. And with that, you're removing the ego from it, because we have one goal, is to move forward with it. So we come collectively and we move it forward without thinking about it. It fails the day we start bickering between each other. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to take this department away from this department, away from here, and we break the whole core, and the essence of the company dies, and it fails. Mm-hmm. And the essence of our humanity dies when we start to separate from each other. Mm-hmm. So we do need an ego for identity purposes, because that's who we are. Because the ego is nothing but a collection of events, trauma, and everything that shaped us to become who we are today, from the day we were born up till now. To get rid of that means we have to die. But instead of that, all we need to do is to rise above it, be ourselves, but have a view from a higher perspective, rather from the chatter perspective, me, I. Mm-hmm. And that's where we control the ego. because you can never slay your dragons. You can only tame them. I know we talked about this. We're not slaying any dragons over here.
No, no slaying dragons. I hope dragon dies, guys. So
Not at all. They're gonna be
no,
all
no
good.
slaying dragons.
Yeah, we're all gonna be working together with the dragons. So don't worry about it. We're all good. We're all good.
Yes. So that kind of speaks to the drama triangle that we talked about as well in one of our episodes, right? So when we talk about the drama triangle, we're playing roles as either the victim, the villain, or the hero. And that's when we sort of get caught in that chatter that you were talking about, right? Where we're playing one of those roles or all of them all at once to different people. So if we can like remove ourselves from that. So that's where you're talking about pulling yourself up out of that drama triangle to start to take a quiet observer mode a little bit more. And we can look at something from a higher altitude and say, oh, yeah, I was playing the victim there, wasn't I? All right. I got to watch for that next time. And then hopefully next time we maybe catch it earlier, or don't get into it at all if we're really aware, right? Which, you know what, we're humans though. So we do have to be forgiving of ourselves too, because we all fall into that stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how enlightened we are or anything. We are human, and that's what we're here to do, is experience our emotion. So there's a big part of us that really, we need to be compassionate and forgiveness and show forgiveness to ourselves when we like drop into that. Because you will, like, it doesn't matter how enlightened you are going to drop into that. The awareness of when you're there and how long you stay there is like the work that you've done and how much work you've done and all of that,
Yeah.
But like we all do it, and we all will again, just like we've all made mistakes, we're all going to make them again. There's no human that is perfect.
Other than me, but yes.
Even you, Ramsey. I love you, but even you.
So it's a good point is, how long do you want to sit in there? How long do you want it to fester? And according to the mind, the longer it gets, the bigger the story, the happier I get. But if we go into the love story, then, oh yeah, this wasn't good. Then let me turn around and then forgive myself and forgive the other for what just happened. Love both ends. Because what we tend to do is we tend to forgive the other. Oh, I forgive him. I forgive him. That bastard. Oops, sorry. Maybe that's. I forgive him. I forgive him years ago. No, you did not forgive him. You did not forgive yourself. And before you can forgive others, you have to forgive yourself for allowing yourself to fall a victim of that incident. And once you forgive yourself and you love yourself for that, the forgiveness and love to the other person is much, much easier.
Well, I mean, that's the Ho'oponopono, right? The Ho'oponopono is based on that whole forgiveness of self.
Yes.
To forgive others. So
I can't remember it. Please forgive me. I love you. Go away. No?
I'm sorry. Please
I'm sorry.
forgive me. I love you and thank you.
See, the I'm sorry part is the hardest one out of them all. How can you forgive someone for hurting you? How can you tell someone, I am sorry because you hurt me?
Because you played a role in it. Every situation has two sides, and everybody plays a role, right? The only place that's really tricky is when it's a child. I've used it with clients of mine that have been victims of child abuse, and it's tough. But I always frame it like, you can always say to yourself, I'm sorry you are not a nice person. It's not always what I say, but that's what we'll say tonight. I'm sorry you're not a nice person. I forgive you for not being a nice person.
Mm-hmm.
I love you because obviously you need love, right? So I'm sending you some love. And thank you for the lessons, because all of the lessons that we go through change us and they make us who we are. So when you start to like yourself, then the lessons are not so bad, because you're like, well, yeah, I it's made me who I am. So yes, it sucked. Yes, it was tragic, or whatever it is that you went through. But that is who you are. Those are the soul contracts that you came down to fulfill for yourself and them. And we have to have compassion for ourselves. And in doing that, the best way is to show compassion for them as well.
Mm.
Not easy, though. Not easy. It takes practice, right? It takes.
One of the things yes, practice is the right word for that. And when I was going through my journey, is that I had to do it multiple times before I was able to get over it.
Well, we're like an onion, right? These things tend to be multi-layered issues. And so we can peel away the top layer, then we're going to, it'll be like raw. Then we leave it for a little bit, and then we can peel back another layer. But as you get closer to the core of the issue, the core is softer. It's easier to peel, right? It's not like the hard husk that's on the outside of an onion. It gets easier to peel as you get in.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's easier, and the crying time, that onion, it becomes less.
Yes.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I got it.
And we get a little more used to the crying. We're like, oh yeah, it's going to hurt, but that's okay. We'll just get through this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, even if it's not crying, it might be yawning, because, we don't all cry when we're moving energy, but we have reactions. So, mm-hmm.
So once this forgiveness moves through us, a weight is lifted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how am I going to describe this? You have left an empty space within your psyche, within your bubble. Your bubble is filled with all these stuck emotions, trauma, and stuff like that. They're like little bubbles within your big bubble. So every time you pop one, if you want to take the popping thing, every time you pop one, you create an empty space. And that empty space starts to grow, because now more and more are being popped. And you're releasing more and more anger, frustration, and all of that. It's just flowing out. And it becomes easier because now there's space for it to move, for them to come up
mm-hmm.
At a rapid pace. After all that flows through, you're left with few sitting here and there that you think, everything is beautiful. Now, there's two things. One is those floating around are your triggers every time somebody says something. Mm-hmm. So that person that triggers you, that person that upsets you, is there to make sure that you burst that bubble.
Yeah.
And you work on it and you burst it, and more space comes out. But now, because there's more space than those bubbles, there's less irritation.
Right.
And opening that space opens up a channel to the outside world. Empaths are people who can feel others. You can never feel anybody if you have a 10 feet of buildup of trauma, negative emotions, and others. You can never feel anybody else, because you're so crushed under the weight of your own mind that you cannot see beyond, well, I'll use that, beyond your nose, because it's there. That's it. That's all you can see. You're living in constant agony, in constant pain within yourself. But you don't know you're trapped. You don't know.
It feels like agony because it feels like every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Someone gave me the analogy of a frog. If you put a frog in boiling water, it's going to jump out because it's going to feel the difference. If you put a frog in water and then turn the pot on that they're in, it won't jump out because it's just going to gradually get there. And then it becomes normal, and then it's harmed, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that because you think it's normal what you're going through. Yeah. These are extreme sad cases that we're talking about here. It's not every day everybody, but it's an important note to know that you may not know how much density you have around you.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand it. They just don't realize it, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You can't until you open up your mind. You awaken to your true self.
Mm-hmm. And the true self is that inner light, right?
Yes. So that's the definition. What is your true self?
For me, that inner light, that divine energy that is at the core of who we are.
Yes. Which is the drop of water in the ocean. That is the ocean in a drop. That is in the center of us all. So basically, we are part of the divine. The divine in a small little fractal, tiny dust particle that animates us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you allow it to shine, it pulls you forward. It clears you up. It moves you forward, and it's always with you. If you crush it with a ton of weight, which sometimes, and it is good, like in my case, it was beautiful. It brought me to the lowest level possible. And then from there, you have no place but up. So you grab your pieces, and to go back up, you need to shed some weight. And slowly, you start popping those bubbles within your circle and emptying your circle, and you start flowing back to normality. And then go ahead.
What is normality?
Normality is what was before you got crushed, but you're still under the weight.
Okay.
But once the floodgates are open, you're not going to stop. And you continue. And this process actually doesn't end. I don't believe it ever ends because we take it through lifetimes of clearing and getting lighter and lighter and lighter until we reach a certain lighter density, and then we move into a different phase from one density to another. Like we're third going to fifth, skipping four. I can't remember what Ross said. Oh, I used to remember that, but I forgot that. I do apologize. I shouldn't have brought it up. But you shift. And in my case, I shifted twice. And I felt the energy around me shift. Like everything shifted.
Yep.
Everything shifted twice, and it was intense. And I go, what just happened?
Was it everything around you, or was it just you shift in your perception of everything around you?
It's me shifting in the perception of everything, but I felt it. It was a strong shake. It's a shake. It was like, like they show in the movies, and it was like that. It was a feeling. It was a feeling, not just visual. It was a feeling, and it moved. And I go, oh, okay. And I notice afterwards how lighter I am. And where I am with my evolution, and that's where my mediumship started to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Connection to spirit started to grow. Like I was doing an energy healing on a person with cancer right now, not right now, but before the call, and I was able to see where they are. Did not know where they are, but I saw where they are. I saw what was happening, and worked with the spirit to help that person out. And while I was working, and I was standing up, and I was waving, and I go, "It's not me. I'm not doing anything. This is the spirit that is taking care of that person." Until a visual image came in, and they gave a blue light. It was actually, I saw a Christ image of his face coming, and blue light came in and sealed the person in my visual thing, and I stopped shaking. And so it allows for these things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So clearing our aura, our bubble, our all of that, and I'm sure Carol next year will talk a lot about aura, because she can see them and what each of them means and all of these beautiful little things. But for us now, we'll continue talking about just clearing to allow for more light to flow through you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, there's lots of different modalities that will help with that. Lots of different things that you can use in your own toolkit for helping you to clear that stuff. We have Michelle Marie saying, yes, clearing is so important. Every work is a mixture of good and evil. This world of ours is a relative plane. We must strive to do such actions that can bring maximum of good and minimum of evil. Well said, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. Michelle's one of those teachers we were talking about earlier, too. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the clearing process, it's something that we need to do on a regular basis. You can do it with rituals, you can do it with prayers, you can do it with sage, you can do it with crystals. There's all sorts of different tools, as well as things like Reiki and tons of energy healing modalities and sound and all sorts of stuff. And some resonate more with others. Some will resonate with you, some more with others. It really, it's a personal part of the journey to discover what works best for you. And it might work best for you today and something else tomorrow.
Absolutely. What I'm doing also, somebody said something.
Good to see you too, Michelle.
Good to see you too.
That's enough.
Oh, okay. I think I messed it up over here. Lifestyle.ca. I'm just putting the yeah, I think I got it right.
No. Yeah, good.
Oh, I did get it right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I got mixed up. It's a black moon coming up on Sunday. It's
we have an eclipse too.
Eclipse, yeah. So a lot
and
of
we're
things.
In Mercury retrograde again.
A lot of energy shifting over the weekend. Hannes, what about what should we do during the black moon? From an energy perspective, should we put plans to do something, or should we hold on and just meditate? Or
it's always good to meditate and do your self-care. I'm sure Michelle Marie, if you reach out to her, she'll forward you some Vedic prayers, because there's prayer medicine that can happen. You can tap into your animal medicine too with your shamanic guides and stuff. Really working with your crystals. It's a full moon, correct?
Yes.
So we're really, it's a great time to charge your crystals up.
Oh, yeah.
Put them out, make some moon water. Moon water is highly charged water with the moon. With an eclipse at the same time, it tends to be a little bit on the chaotic side, the energy. So probably better to wait on that moon water till next month. But if you really want to try something, go and try that. That'll be powerful anyways. I mean, eclipse energy is powerful. It's just unpredictable. So it's when you're charging stuff. But it'll certainly charge up your crystals. Your crystals are little conscious beings, so they'll manage the eclipse energy just fine. And it's a good time to release things. So I think it's really going to be a good weekend to sit down and think about those things that you want to release from your life, those things that you want to let go of that are no longer serving you. And, maybe make a list of those things and then burn the list. Full moons are a great time to do a little burning ceremony. Safely, please,
I was going to say that. I was waiting for you to finish.
Outside if possible.
And even
something metal that's not going to start a fire. But yes, and little pieces of paper. It's good to note. Okay. Yes. So just be very careful when you're doing it. But a burning ceremony, because really fire transmutes the energy of what you're doing. So it helps for that kind of transition stuff that's coming. So that's what I would recommend, sitting and doing some of that work. Mm-hmm. Because it's also going to put you in self-reflective mode. For those of you that do automatic writing, it's a great time to sit down and just say, hey guys, tell me what to write, and just allow whatever comes out to come out. So, because it's a time for you to move through energies.
And one of the things, I don't know anything I don't know anything. I don't know how to get into automatic writing, but I am sure it's the same as allowing your guides to give you those messages. Mm-hmm. They give you in either writing or in inspirational messages or so on. Do sit down and relax yourself.
Yep.
Calm your mind. Calming your mind is very simple. It never calms down, but you can. I love that. Oh.
Of course, Michelle. I listen to all of your stuff.
So relaxing your mind is just take an image and put it in your mind. Basically, a good image would be.
Here we go. We have our resident astrologist giving us a little forecast.
Go ahead.
The upcoming lunar eclipse will occur in Libra, where the moon is with Ketu. According to Vedic astrology, the moon denotes the mind, emotions, equilibrium, and feelings. As Ketu eclipses the moon, it may make you lose your equilibrium and act impulsively, thereby affecting your personal and professional relationships. This is the ideal time to engage in higher spiritual growth, show compassion, and be understanding. Health may need more focus, especially mental health. Be aware of your negative aspects and try to stay positive. Wonderful advice, Michelle. Thank you. Yes, so definitely being careful about making snap decisions, right? We don't want to do that too much in Mercury retrograde either. So when we've got both of them here, then important to be in that.
So the best time it is to reflect. That's it.
That's right. Yeah.
No action to be taken.
Yeah. Planning. Planting seeds came out a lot last night when we were doing our readings. Planting the seeds for the future. So, deciding what you want to release, not necessarily making the decision to do it, but deciding, or not necessarily acting on the decision, I should say, but reflecting on the decision, what you want to release. And, again, that self-care piece, right? Whatever you need for your self-care, whether that's meditation, whether it's walking in nature, whether it's, eating good, healthy foods, which we should all do anyways, but, we are human. Drinking lots of water, making sure we're hydrated, all those things, and really sitting in contemplation and making sure you have some alone time. That's one thing I would really recommend this weekend, is making sure you have a little bit of time to sit by yourself, and the automatic writing is a great way to do that, and doing the burning ceremony that we've talked about as well.
Bushfire. No.
Not bushfire. No. You're canceled. Delete.
And just on how to sit and reflect, I was trying to get to that. Is that you just relax your body,
Mm-hmm.
go into all parts, and ask it to relax, and then calm your mind by putting a picture in there. Basically, a good one would be a candle flame.
Mm-hmm.
And every time your mind wanders, just bring it back to the candle flame a couple of times, and it just eases, and you just sit in reflection. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to do anything at all.
That's right.
Now, that would be, it's like bathing in complete utter connection with the other world. You're just there. You're allowing it. Now, if you have pen and paper and you want to write something, that's great. If you don't, that's also good. As long as you're sitting there and allowing things to just flow without having to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I often find it intimidating when I first sit down to do automatic writing. So sometimes it's good to write like a keyword. Oh, there we go. Michelle's shared some
Chant.
chants. So Om Namah Shivaya. I'm sure that's not the pronunciation. Michelle's the expert. Om Namo Narayana during the eclipse. I'm sure if we put those into Google Translate, you'd get the right pronunciation, but it's repeating those. So what she often does with those, mala beads, and you repeat them 108 times. So if you can get your pronunciation going on those and then use your mala beads. I think I need to learn Sanskrit. I'm really hooked on a Sanskrit chant right now. So
I posted it wrong.
Om Name Shivaya.
Oh, I put it wrong.
Om Namo Shivaya.
Yeah, we'll change that. If you find this hard to pronounce and you're not sure how to, and so you can find another one that might resonate with you.
There we go.
Shiv.
Shiv.
I.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
So there's something to do
Yeah.
to add to your routine for the weekend to help balance those energies and find that inner balance as well. Mm-hmm. Very cool. And I'm feeling like maybe we need to pick one of these actually. So let's see what the cards say for that. Is that okay with you? We've got these are Raphael healing cards. So since we're talking about health and all that stuff for the weekend, let's see. Almost. Okay. Like I said, I need to learn Sanskrit. Maybe that's a class we could teach, Michelle. Pronunciation on the Sanskrit mantras. Forgiveness heals. And it says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, I am willing to forgive myself and others in the exchange for what I really want. Peace and health. Oops, late. There we go. It took me a while to get it down, she says. Yes, I would imagine. What else do they need us to know about the weekend? What other healing things can we do for ourselves on the weekend in terms of self-care? What are you going to do this weekend, Ramsey, for your self-care?
Well, I was thinking it's on Sunday, so I do have a meditation.
A massage? Go for a massage?
A massage? Oh, interesting. A massage or a massage?
Massage.
I know it said massage, but
yeah. It says, Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me know that I deserve to receive massages and other self-care treatments. Aha. So actually, it's more about deserving. So you deserve to do this for yourself this weekend. The self-care that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be a massage, but they're awesome. What were you going to do?
I'm joining a meditation circle on Sunday. I think it's Sunday night during the eclipse or something. Is it?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really good to be able to do that, to just give time and quiet your mind.
Listen to your intuitive feelings.
Everything we talked about tonight.
It is everything we talked about tonight.
Yeah, except the massage we didn't talk about.
We didn't talk about the massage, but we talked. There's health things in the
Yeah.
in the bit that Michelle shared with us. So
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
These are beautiful messages. We're coming to the hour. We passed the hour, actually.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And we thank Michelle for giving us all these insights on
Absolutely.
astrology and what needs to be done. Michelle is what, like Tanis mentioned, she's one of the teachers at the Twilio Lifestyle. She's one of the people that are going to be present on June 12th. So please be there. Again, this is the last time. Well, I'm going to remind you 500 times between now and then, but this is the last time we air it. It's June 12th. Be ready for it. It's 1 to 6, and it's going to be one interesting event, one interesting day, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, Tanis, do you have a last words for the season?
For the season, oh my goodness, stressful.
Hold on, we can read Michelle's thing. Thank you for the beautiful talk and readings. Blessing to you both. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Blessings to you as well. Thank you for being with us and sharing your energy and your knowledge and all of that beautiful stuff. Actually, if you guys want Vedic astrology, Michelle's your girl. She's awesome. Astrologicaltarot.com. Okay. Check it out. So, what do I have to say for the end? I have been totally honored and blessed to be able to share this podcast with you, Ramsey. So thank you. And it's been wonderful to share in all of your energies as well, as you've popped in and off and such in all of our shows along the season. And so I just want to send all of you tons of love and light, and lots of blessings. So Tanis Coughlin from the Twilio Lifestyle Community and the Twilio Lifestyle Academy. And stay tuned for lots to come.
Thank you for being here. Actually, your presence had helped a lot. Actually, we did a great job. I'm so proud of it.
We both stepped into the
honestly,
green, so.
None of these things were prepared. No notes, no nothing. Is on the fly. Everything is, well, if you want to call them channel, to me, it's just an easy flow of information between two people having basically, I would say having a tea, but we weren't having a tea. We had water all the time to make sure we're able to continue talking for an hour. And sometimes it took an hour and a half, actually.
It did, yeah, sometimes. Yeah. But
thank
if you're able to allow it, right?
There are times where there are a lot of people and they have more questions depending on the topic, and we do accommodate all of your questions, and we're there to answer them at any time. You can also reach us on our Facebook, twiliolifestyle.ca, and my website, ramseygt.net, or you can reach me on Awaken to Your True Self on Facebook, or Ramsey's Facebook also. It's in the link. I'm sure you'll see it. You can't miss me. And I want to thank everybody to be part of this journey. It was a wonderful journey. It took a lot of courage. It took a lot of courage to come up with something that is imperfect, that is so perfect in its imperfection that it actually gained track faster, quicker. I wasn't actually expecting it to be like that, to be honest with you. And I'm actually enjoying every episode of it. And I'm going to miss you all. And we'll see each other again in September. There'll be a lot of, we're going to post a lot of things about it, so you'll know when it's going to start. And in the meantime, we'll see you on June 12th. And you can always, like I said, check our website, ramseycheater.net or twillerlifestyle.ca. On that note, thank you very much. Have a summer. Yeah, go ahead.
I think you're on another podcast coming up soon too, right?
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Speaking of Michelle,
yes,
Michelle has a show that I co-host with her as well, and you're going to be on that show as well, so you'll be able to see him then.
Thank you for the reminder. I can't remember which day is it. May something. No, sorry, June.
Is it the first weekend of June?
Is it 8th? On a show with Dennis and Michelle, June 8th.
June 8th.
Yes.
There we go. You can see him on June 8th as well.
Yeah.
And me, we shall be with Michelle. And yeah, that'll be fun too. We'll be doing readings that night, so join us then.
So do join in.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, and have an awesome summer. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
No,
Lots of love. Look at you. You're getting so much better.
This is the 11th time we tried to do this, and we got it right.
Woohoo! Bye, everyone.